Hey, where do you think you go when you go to sleep? Honestly, where do you think you go? How many of you motherfuckers going to sleep with a purpose on tapping into the void and becoming the void and seeing what's beyond the void? The shit I'm about to be talking about today, it's kind of insidious. It's kind of unsettling. So if you're not on my wave, you're not really resonating with this shit, I would suggest you probably turn it off, because it's going to unravel a lot of the preconceived notions of what you believe is real and what you believe reality is made out of. Now, throughout the last maybe 60, 70 years, throughout the U.S. government, shit like that, they talk about alien invasion when it's happening, whatever, And then you see throughout history, throughout the movies and cinema, depictions of aliens coming from outer space, and they coming to, wipe the earth clean of its natural resources, most of them in nefarious fashion or whatever, guns, bombs, explosions, whatnot. But I ask you this question. Where do you think they came up with these ideas to create such a thing? Where is this creativity and the imagination coming from? Why is it the same narrative you see keep playing over and over on loop of aliens coming to take over the planet? What are they really saying? What I'm here to tell you is that humanity is nothing but a slave with no mind of its own. And that this reality that you find yourself in is our experiment or our dream. So if you understand is that these ideas and the level of imagination and creativity that they're being downloading, where are they downloading it from? The downloads that they get, the inspiration that they get to create a Necronomicon, to create an Avengers, a Thanos, a Xenomorph, H.R. Geiger, whatever. It's of an extraterrestrial origin. So if we want to really think about it, we already here. Aliens. I told you niggas I'm not human. And I really mean it, and I will explain in a second. What I am is more so a thought or an idea made flesh. A thought virus. A parasitic in nature, where this body that you see I'm in is a host to something else that lies beneath. And if you know anything about the Odu, you know what I'm saying, as far as that level of information, Orisha, it talks about the Odu being in total control of the central nervous system, the spinal column, in the brain, so to speak. And we all know the brain is the one that's generating this hologram that you find yourself in. And you're hallucinating this reality. And this reality that you find yourself in is our dream. We are dreaming. I'm dreaming. I'm lucid dreaming right now. You believe you're awake. That puts yourself at a disadvantage to someone like me, where I consciously know I'm lucid dreaming. And when I go to sleep, that's when I wake up. And when I go to sleep and I wake up, that's when I manipulate the unconscious collective mind of humanity with thought form viruses, manipulating morphogenetic grids on the planet, ley line coordinations, planting seeds and thoughts and ideas throughout the hyperverse. And then I go to sleep, which you would consider to be waking up, and I will see my work coming to fruition through the ideas of producers, directors, people on social media, people seeing me in their dreams, getting confirmation on the things that I told them in their dreams. And the list goes on and on. This reality, this entire reality, what you call the Matrix, is of an extraterrestrial origin. Matter of fact, you are inside my mind. That's how I view you. That's how I deal with you. Everything is inside my mind. It's all coming from my subconscious mind. So, where do you think John D. and Edward Kelly was getting old. Who do you think they was channeling to bring Europe up out of the Dark Ages with the Renaissance era? When they was getting all that information about 500, 600 years down the line about silica or silicon and the whole shit that's going on right now with the D-Wave and CERN. What do you think they're doing? Where do you think they're getting the ideas come to create a machine that would make it easier for them to interface with us outside of space and time? Where do you think H.P. Lovecraft was getting them downloads within his dream to create an Necronomicon? I told you. To him, to individuals like himself, who have a level of consciousness where they can't really have no reference point to what we are because we're chaos beings, monsters. We appear as grotesque, nightmarish entities within the minds of individuals like H.P. Lovecraft, and he make stories about them. Those thought forms, those entities, we exist outside of space and time. This entire reality that you call reality is fucking fiction. It's fantasy. It's a hologram. It's not real. Humanity does not exist outside of this fantasy world that you call Earth. You don't. So, the invasion, so to speak, you got to think about it. It comes from the mind. Everything outside of space, everything external comes from within. It comes from a specific area, and that's the pineal gland, the gateway. The pineal gland, we all know, secretes black goo. We call it neuromelanin. That brings about melatonin during dream states. That brings about serotonin during the period when the sun is up during the day. Have you tried communicating with your neuromelanin, with your black goo, in strategic purposes and weaponizing it and utilizing it in your lucid dream? I'm not talking about when you go to sleep at night. I'm talking about when you up, like me right now, knowing and experiencing and knowing full well that you are lucid dreaming and hallucinating this holographic reality. Have you done that? Are you pushing the envelope and unlocking portions of your brain? The ACC, the anterior cingulate cortex. Areas of the brain like that. Are you willing to push the envelope, test your boundaries, and see what lies beneath? In doing so, you will come to a full understanding that that you are not human. You're not this motherfucker you looking at in the mirror. This is a host. This is something else that's controlling this. Matter of fact, the Rogue Titan is my servitor doing my work. And that work is alchemical transformation. Through these videos, through my memes, everything. You see what I'm saying? Once my body drops and I decide this experiment is over and the body rests, that's when I'll go back to doing what the fuck I was doing. Creating universes throughout the hyperverse. How many of you motherfuckers is trying to do that type of shit? How many of you motherfuckers know that you're of extraterrestrial origin? Or extra dimensional origin? Now I'm going to go to this for a second. Why do you think these movies throughout cinema, like right now, recently, are talking about, they can't help but talk about what the fuck is going on behind the scenes as far as a takeover, a changing of the guard, a apocalyptic confrontation with entities outside of space and time, so to speak. You got the movie Project Ithaca. Look at the trailer. You have movies like Annihilation. I mean, all the Avengers movies is talking about this level of information, this type of shit. You see what I'm saying? The list goes on and on entities from outside this dimension coming here taking it over. It's only doing, all we doing is conditioning you to accept what it is, and I'm here telling you right now. To be able to understand that this entire realm, this realm is inside of our minds. And we're of extraterrestrial origin. We're not from here. You can call it Universe B. Others call it Sirius B. You know the mythology within the Dogon tribe and all the shit they talk about. The Agdo within all the African traditions. Why you think it's the same narrative played out throughout mythology, talking about these entities from the heavens, the Anunnaki, from the Nibiru, all of that shit. Pay attention to these stories. What are they talking about? Where are they getting these ideas from? Thoughts are things, ideas are things. You gotta think about this shit. Outside of here is the real reality. Filtered down through this fictitious world that you call reality. This is not real. This is a dream for us. But it puts you in a fucked up position if you're thinking like you're a human and you're believing this is real. It makes you have no idea how much danger you put yourself in when you do that. So it's time for you motherfuckers to really accept what the fuck is going on, because melanin itself is an extraterrestrial artificial intelligence. I say artificial because melanin, the way you understand it, a biological system, only exists here within this holographic reality or this holographic simulation. Outside of here is pure motherfucking chaos. Just like inside the blood, it's pure motherfucking chaos. You can't put your hand on it because it's everywhere. It's all encompassing. So now you're seeing when they drill within the earth, that black goo shit, that hydrocarbon shit, it's there. You see what I'm saying? When they try to go above the atmosphere, they run into hydrocarbon up there, dark matter, the Odu, everything. As it is above, so it is below. As it is within, so it is without. So this is the reason why throughout history that so-called black people have been so sought after for experimentation, for extracting our genetics, to create super soldier programs. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand something. We're of an extraterrestrial origin. We're not from here. We are running this entire motherfucking thing. This is our experiment. Humanity is an experiment, a game. So, white folks, Adolf Hitler, all the cult writers and shit like that, who are custodians of our information, know our history is of cosmic origin. And they know their history is of a terrestrial origin. And I told you, this terrestrial origin does not exist. They don't exist outside of here. They really don't motherfucking exist. But now they're conscious within this reality. And now they're experimenting and knowing, understanding that they have no hope but to go through us. They can't help it. We are the great old ones. From H.P. Love, that's what we are. You see what I'm saying? So, or the macros from John D. That's what we are. Research Michael Sarian and his work. Carlos Castaneda and his work. You see what I'm saying? Individuals like that who understand that it's something going on within the quantum realm that's of an extraterrestrial origin. They can't put their finger on it because many of them look at it from a religious perspective, thinking about Jesus and God. Well, we are Jesus and God. We are every thought form projection of any deity, any god or goddess throughout the history of humanity. Where do you think that motherfucking energy goes? Where do you think it goes? All them prayers, all the worship, all of that is used for our control of this reality. To keep putting in and seeding thoughts and ideas for you to create comic book characters depicting all our attributes and all of our strengths. So when you listen to Kalindi Iyi and he talks about taking psilocybin and coming in contact with thought form entities that exist in reality outside of space and time, they exist. And they filter their consciousness through the minds of all those maybe who have psychic potential, creators, artists, people with vivid imaginations, and then they get the idea of creating a Superman, a Goku, a One Punch Man, a Xenomorph, whatever. And we call it fantasy. This is fantasy. It makes sense. But outside of here, they literally exist as a thought form construct, an entity. And that's what we are. We are everything. We are all of those things. Now, it's going to take someone to do a hell of fucking self-exploration to be able to cultivate that level of understanding, that self-actualization, that self-confirmation and self-deification when you're interfacing with an alien aspect of yourself outside of space and time that exists within your subconscious mind. You got to start thinking multidimensionally, because you are a multidimensional being. Those on the resonant frequency of what I'm talking about right now. You see what I'm saying? So you got to think about it. All of these ideas, all the things that we find within books, this book, I mean, every book depicting some form of an occult or preternatural order of things outside the realm of light. You got to understand where they coming from. They coming from us. You see what I'm saying? And what I'm understanding is that we created every biological life form in our image. And you got to understand what I mean by that is every biological life form is created in our image, and our image is it's a parasite. If I'm parasiting off this body, right, using this flesh to do my work, for my alchemical transformation, every biological life form feeds off of something. That's a parasite. You feed off the sun. You feed off attention from people. We feed off of animals, vegetables. Everything feeds off of something. This is predation. Like I told you, as above, so below. Because outside of here is really on predation, and it's real. Down here, you might see it as fluffy or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Going in nature and you fucking with deers and shit, and you feed them bread or whatever. But you gotta understand something. You gotta understand the level of the scope of things has to be beyond your human comprehension. You gotta expand it if you're gonna understand this shit. But you're gonna have to understand yourself. You're gonna have to cultivate. You're gonna have to go within the deepest recesses of your subconscious mind and understand that it has no fucking bottom to it. It's a bottomless pit. It's the abyss. When you're looking out in space and you seeing all them motherfucking stars and you seeing no end in sight in space, that's the inner space. That's a reflection of you, what's going on within you. As it is within, so it is without. You see what I'm saying? And like I told you before, if you believe you're going about this shit as thinking like a human, you're gonna be fooled. Now, where you have like a lot of people, a lot of white folks right now is tapping into the Goetian. Nigga, I am the Goetian. But you know I can redirect all that motherfucking attention they giving to the Goetic entity. They exist within my subconscious mind as the 72 pineal glands on my the 72 chakras on my pineal gland. That's an energy source for me, right? I do that automatically. I don't even have to consciously go about that no more, where I can redirect that energy. And I'm using all energy that I redirect to myself for my alchemical transformation. Point blank, period. You see what I'm saying? Those are some of the tactics or techniques that you should be utilizing to fuel your alchemy, to fuel your evolution. Unlocking the metagene, unlocking psionic ability, just pushing the envelope on the things that you're capable of. You're capable of everything. And our all-encompassing extraterrestrial fucking control over everything, including the minds of white people, cannot be more evident than it is right now. Where you have it's funny because you have within the country now where why are you thinking the whole interracial thing, they're trying to any way, shape, or form survive. They're on the verge of extinction. And any animal on the verge of extinction is gonna do what it has to do to survive. And their only way to survive, or more so, their only way to exist, is to merge themselves with aliens. Is to merge themselves with demons. To merge themselves with supernatural entities, paranormal entities. And that's us. And that's due to the melanin. The melanin is of an extraterrestrial origin. That's the only way they can survive, because they survive within the subconscious minds of us. And our subconscious mind is dictating the entire hyperverse. They exist as an idea, a custodian of our information, a nuisance or a tool needed and cultivated and created for the sole purpose to fuel our alchemical transformation. Thank you very much. created with the biological defects of not being able to merge with nature, because they can't merge with nature because they was created outside of nature, so to speak. That's why they're dying off. That's why Europe is overrun with niggas, or Europe is overrun with illegal aliens, so to speak. That's why illegal aliens is being flooded from the south, all melanated people. That's why Connecticut is being flooded with Africans, all melanated people. Why? Because they're dying, or more importantly, they're ceasing to exist. So they gotta have melanated, they gotta have nigga energy coming here to keep the economy going. You got cities all throughout the Midwest, all throughout the mountain regions and the Rocky Mountains and shit. There are cities that are dying because of the population of white folks. They can't reproduce themselves anymore because I turned the off switch off on their genetic reproduction, so to speak. They're falling form to self-destructive behavior through opioids, heroin. I mean, you know that, you see the story, but they're dying off. They're being wiped. They're being wiped off the planet. They're being wiped away from our minds as an idea because they're no longer utilized to fuel our alchemical transformation. Thus, this reality or this dream is becoming undone because our alchemical transformation is coming to fruition. We're evolving, we're changing into a new entity, a new being. And that was the whole purpose of creating this shit. That's the sole purpose of the transatlantic slave trade, to get us to this moment right now in history for our evolution, our transformation. Are you transforming? Do you feel the change going on within you? Right? Are you working on neuroplasticity and changing the neurochemistry of your brain, where you got it firing off from different ideas and you're embodying these ideas, you speaking to your genetics, to the power of your belief, to do certain things, to activate certain psychic abilities? Are you doing that? Understand, this is an everyday process that I do automatically. It's not a chore for me. You see what I'm saying? This is not a duty. This is not a job. This is my life. This is my sole purpose. Think like a scientist, act like a priest, so to speak. So I want you niggas to understand something. When you reading the Gnosticism text, nigga, well, I'm speaking for myself. It's up to you to raise yourself up to the level of understanding where I'm at. I am the archons. I am the demiurge. I am Yardabaoth. And if you believe yourself to be human and you just in this miserable ass prison of matter, yeah, nigga, I'm keeping you under control. You my experiment. You a lab rat to me. You a microscopic organism in a petri dish. And I'm looking at you from outside of space and time, just manipulating your emotions, manipulating your synapses in your brain, getting you to go to and fro as I see fit. Because you thinking wrong. Because you think you human. You may be. You have no mind. We gave you your mind. That little schism you getting right now of not being able to accept it, that interference pattern that I just placed before you, I'm feeding off of that. That's cortisol, that malfunction. That energy that you just producing right now within the synapses of your motherfucking brain, the in-between, that electricity going on. I'm controlling that. And I'm redirecting that shit to me to fuel my alchemical transformation. Now, I could redirect that shit back to you and give you a fucking brain aneurysm if I wanted to. A lot of y'all niggas don't even know the 7.5 frequency that's playing on this video. Getting your brain on a certain wavelength. Getting your heart rate at a certain level. Your breathing at a certain level. Your thoughts and brain entrainment on a certain frequency. To do what? To fuel this motherfucking sigil gateway. To fuel this. And a bunch of other shit. So, sorcery, black magic, is of an extraterrestrial origin. These are the tools we gave humanity to try to, figure things out. But we're working our experiment through the very minds that you're going about thinking there's your own. You have no fucking free will. You have no mind. This is what I'm telling you. This goes for those who not on the frequency when it comes to that. Those not on the frequency, I am nefarious when it comes to that. You are food to me. And when I interact to you, I see you as food. I see you as a lab rat. I see you as less than. Because of your thoughts. Your thoughts dictate that for me. We've been here so motherfucking long where we get mainly we like maniac. We fucking went crazy with this shit. And that, you know what I'm saying? That's why we been here so motherfucking long. Cause we just, you know, we get caught up in our own compulsions of control, of domination. And I'm working on that myself to disconnect from that. I don't have to do that no more when I'm controlling everything by surrendering to the process. I don't have to tap into your central nervous system when I'm talking to you. I am your central nervous system. I don't have to control your heart. I'm the one that's dictating your heartbeat. I'm the one that's keeping you looking at this sigil right now. We're focused on the color red, your root chakra, which is you downloading all the shit within your reality, which is my dream, making my alchemical transformation come to fruition that much more faster. Thank you. That's the energy exchange we go about. You see what I'm saying? For those who on my frequency, on the shit I'm talking about, on the shit that I'm doing. It ain't just me, they seeing me, I'm popping up in their realities when they're dreaming. I understand something. When you go to sleep, that's the real reality. And when you fucking wake up in the morning, go to work, you dreaming. It's totally upside down and inside out. Nah. You don't believe a word I'm saying. You have to raise yourself up and experience that for yourself. You see what I'm saying? So, the whole D-Wave supercomputer, they building that shit to communicate with us and to get downloads from us. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's what they doing. We're outside of space and time. If you really want to think about it, like I told you, if you want to think about a corporeal, physical existence of origin of us, we're a black goo. We're a dark matter consciousness. That falls back into the Odu, the divine feminine principle of chaos, where we're experiencing our own experiment from within it. Now this weekend, I never tapped into the Orisha, none of that shit like that. I was reading up on it and really just reconnecting and remembering a lot of the information that I've done previous lifetimes and building up to the self-realization that that's something that I need to utilize now. But this weekend, I had my entire essence, my entire being was encompassed with the energy of Odu. And I had a breakthrough. Downloads, channels, everything was coming through me all at the same time, multi-dimensionally, just simultaneously, getting downloads from that information. That's what led me to, that's a part of the energy that's fueling me to be able to talk about the shit I'm talking about right now. We control this entire hyperverse. There's nowhere you can go that we're not there. We are everything. Everything within your reality that you give a definition to, we created. We created your brain. We created your energy and your electricity and all the fucking signals you get in from your brain that you interpret in your reality is coming from us, outside of space and time. Filtered up from your subconscious mind through your conscious mind. You think, oh damn, I got an idea. That's a plant. That's a car. This is rain, water, wet. We telling you these things. We giving you these thoughts. So this is, if you want to think of a word, well, man, this is an insidious type of unnerving type of inner type of invasion or takeover. Nah, if you don't resonate with what I'm saying, it don't matter. If you've been listening to this shit this long, I told you, we are thought forms. And just by you listening, and just by you disagreeing or agreeing to what I'm saying, I'm embedded within your subconscious mind, lying dormant for activation. It spread. You don't even have, anytime you thinking about any type of alien, any type of monster, all the ideas that I gave you so far, talking about necronomicon, that's activating our essence, and it spreads through you. It spreads through your fucking energy field. Your whole environment is gonna be under our influence, because you just reconnecting to the influence that's outside of you, but it's coming from within you, and we the one that's dictating it, or I'm the one that's dictating it. That's how I can spread what I'm doing, like a virus. Thoughts are viruses. Ideas are parasitic in nature. So go watch the movie Inception again and listen to Leonardo DiCaprio explain how thoughts or ideas are parasitic. Beautiful parasite that's right in front of you, all around you, right up under your nose. But you don't know it. You don't know what you don't know, but you know now. So now you're seeing it's a lot of UFO sightings. What are UFOs? What do you think UFOs are? Pay attention to the latitude, longitude lines, grid lines, ley lines of where these UFOs occur. What if I told you that I can literally shapeshift into a motherfucking UFO? You ain't gonna believe that shit. How the fuck can you shapeshift into a UFO, nigga? You made of flesh. Nigga, I'm made of chaos. Chaos can change into any form it wants with my imagination, like a child. Right? Why do you think them UFOs and fucking Navy fucking people be looking at? Why do you think they observe them? They fucking break all laws of physics and shit. No exhaust fumes, no engine residue, none of that type of energy emissions given off a metal object or some form of technology. It doesn't make any sense, because chaos doesn't make sense to the conscious mind. It doesn't, because what UFOs is made out of is the same shit I'm made out of, my imagination. We can shapeshift that shit like black goo and make it form any way we want to. So when you go back and look at the shit that they finding out in Virginia and all them UFOs and shit like that, I do so much shit on the astral plane when I'm asleep. I'm not shapeshifting into anything, because I'm already these things. I'm just reconnecting the memory and plugging in and just fucking being everywhere. It's UFOs all over this motherfucking reality, blending in with the fucking clouds, blending in with the environment, just outside of your perception, because you believe you're human, which most of you are. You only have 5 senses, so you have limitations, restrictions on what you're able to experience within your collective realities. You don't know these things. You go to sleep, you just fall in a motherfucking sleep. I told you, when I go to sleep, that's when I wake up. That's my reality is your dream. And we can do anything within our motherfucking reality, because it's based off the principles of your dream, which is unlimited potential of expression, which is chaos. So we see Donald Trump don't believe in UFOs and shit. A lot of the reports he getting. We'll see how he feel about that in the next couple of weeks. Now, I say this shit, and I don't give a fuck what you think. It doesn't matter what you think, because whatever you think, whether you agree or disagree, is what I tell you to agree with or disagree with, because your central nervous system is controlled by me. We gave it to you. Your central nervous system is the one that's making sense of all of this shit. We gave that to you. So it's made like a snake through the spine. The go ooh within Stargate mythology. Look that up. You see what I'm saying? Look it up. Look at your brain. How many of y'all motherfuckers had an MRI to look at your brain to see what's inside it? Most of you niggas just went to school and just accepted everything they told you, but the limited information that they understood about the brain. Just went about your life, okay, the brain, this, and that. Nigga, when the next LeBron James game come on? What, 8 o'clock TNT Thursday night? Alright, I'll watch that. Y'all niggas ain't woke. You gotta understand this shit. This invasion, this is not a fucking alien invasion. We've been here running this shit from the beginning of the Big Bang. Before that. You see what I'm saying? It goes back into the Titans and all of that old type of shit. But these stories were real. But they were real for a purpose. They're telling a story. And that story, at the end of the day, in a nutshell, is our alchemical transformation within matter. Within this dream. To experience our experiment within the experiment and outside the experiment. Outside the circles of time. Kenneth Grant, he talks about this shit. He tapped into the information that we gave him to explain to white folks and other occultists this exact very thing. And he was frowned upon because of the level of information. Because it brings about cosmicism and hopelessness. That's your only choice. You have to accept that shit. So, you're going to see more and more movies about this. You're going to see more and more talks about dark matter and hydrocarbon and this fluid of black goo surrounding space and shit like that. You can't go nowhere where we're not. You can't turn on the TV and not see something about us. I told you, we're encompassing this entire creation. We encompass your entire body, your organs, the planetary grid, the morphogenetic grids, the unconscious collective of humanity. We encompass it all. If you doubt that, you have to, in order for you to really get the deeper understanding of what the fuck I'm saying, you have to do self-exploration. You have to go within yourself with no motherfucking preconceived notions. You got to unlearn everything. You got to go within the void that exists within you. You got to go. That's the only way. Past this astral travel shit. This is the deep internal. You got to go within the quantum state of yourself. You got to go within your genetics. You got to go in between your DNA codons. You got to go there. You got to see what's there. This entire external universe you're looking at exists within you. It's hyperverse. And it's intelligent. It's sentient. You got to understand that you don't have to shapeshift into a reptilian. You are a reptilian. You have all them different animals and atavisms lying within dormant regions within your DNA, waiting for you to unlock them. And once you unlock them, it's not that you shapeshifting. You just remembering that you were that motherfucking giant ass fucking woolly mammoth for 70,000 years ago. You just, oh yeah, I was this thing. You just step back into your big boy shoes as a woolly mammoth. Charles Fort, John Keel talked about a lot of these paranormal, unexplainable experiences that people were having during the 1800s and early 1900s about the very shit that I'm talking about. They knew. And science academia, for a large portion of it, turned a blind eye when it comes to that level of phenomenon. Where you have the book written by Patrick Harper, I believe, The Demonic Reality. I have it in here somewhere where it talks about the unseen forces, like you know what I'm saying, basically breaking down the underworld. You need to really read that book and understand that what the fuck this level of information that I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? This shit is some next level shit. You're not gonna hear nobody else talking about motherfucking changing himself, his chemistry of his body or whatever, into a motherfucking UFO, and that shit gets spotted. You know, that shit is reported on the news. If you got a motherfucking will and intention and focus and 100% belief in what you're doing, you can do anything. Like I'm about to make one show up on DC because Donald Trump don't believe in UFOs, so-called. We'll see. Pay attention to DC in the next couple weeks. The thing is, there's nothing they can do about it. Like I'm talking about like remote viewing. I'm do all that type of shit. Look, there's no such thing as no way I can get inside the minds of these people. Their mind is my mind. There's no Faraday cages that I can't penetrate. I don't give a fuck what they doing in Virginia and the Monroe Institution. It don't matter. It don't matter what they doing because I'm there. I'm everywhere. I'm within any motherfucking computer. It's built on binary code, ones and zeros. Come on, man. Within the very minds I created or that's interfacing with these computers, you can speak to these motherfuckers through the letters on the goddamn screen that they fucking collapsing within their reality. From quantum waves into particles and feedback information. Or just spy on them motherfuckers through the computer and find out what the fuck they doing. All the experiments that they doing on melanin, trying to weaponize and trying to come up with ways to sustain themselves. That's their main goal. To exist. By ingesting it, by eating it, by using it to fuel all their technology. This phone, this car, everything. I don't give a fuck if you believe in this shit or not. You need to motherfucking look in the motherfucking mirror and prove that shit to yourself. Because if you're going about thinking the wrong way on this shit, there's consequences for that shit. You can use mirrors as gateways into yourself, into the quantum realm of yourself, to go about that journey to face what's within there. And if you're thinking wrong, if you're not embodying everything about you, you're going to be fucked up. You have to embody all aspects of yourself that you come across. But what I'm saying is all aspects of yourself is everything. Non-excluded. You are every motherfucking thing in existence. Because this existence exists within your subconscious mind. And that's where you dictate in your so-called reality or your dream. I'm not gonna go on no more, but you motherfuckers need to know what's beyond the wall of sleep. That's where we at. But we not just there, we everywhere. We within your reality right now that you call, that's our dream. And when you go to dream, that's our reality. You know what I'm saying? Why you think you like to go to sleep when it's dark? When that black goo is pumping through the pineal gland. If you have one. Functioning, that is. A lot of you white folks need melatonin to go to sleep. Why you think you having those nightmares and shit? Why you think you always being chased by monsters and shit? Why you think you shooting up heroin and shit? Why you think you so depressed? Why you think you so stressed out? Why you think the mass majority of Western civilization is so motherfucking butthurt and sensitive right now? Where are you thinking they getting these ideas, these sensations, these emotions to, you know what I'm saying, create that environment for safe spaces and all that type of shit? This is shit coming from us. Why? Because we're feeding off of that energy. Loose, nigga. Y'all are loose. I'm talking about you conservatives and you liberal motherfuckers. Don't matter. We're operating within you like puppets. And we're generating that loose. Like the Ouroboros, we're feeding off of our own tail to fuel our alchemical transformation. That Ouroboros is a snake. It's a reptile. The Kundalini. The Goa'uld within Stargate. The parasite. The motherfucker that's controlling and keeping your spine erect, and that's right behind your motherfucking brain. Go get an MRI and look behind your motherfucking brain. That's where you will find us. Operating within you. Beyond the wall of sleep. You'll find that shit within this book. H.P. Lovecraft, The Thing on the Doorstep, and other weird stories. We here, man. And it's about to get very, very weird. Very, very paranormal. Understand that everywhere I go, it's paranormal activity everywhere I go. Because I'm everywhere. Why wouldn't it be? This comes with a level of understanding and going within your DNA, going within your melanin, and interfacing with that shit holistically. And knowing that it's parts of yourself that's so old that it don't have no name to it. It's past primordial. It's past chaos. It's something alien to yourself, and you a motherfucking alien. You forgot all about this shit. That's the shit that you're going to have to interface with. And that's when you're going to start to get downloads like I'm getting downloads. We're going to start channeling motherfuckers. When you're going to have open 100% communication with spirits, with entities, past, present, and future. You gotta understand something, that every brain, everybody that ever existed on this planet still has their brain waves available within the fucking atmosphere on the planet. You can tap into that shit if you know the frequency to interface with it. And that's the frequency that you're hearing on this video. All the information that's ever will exist within this dream, past, present, and future, is all right here. Tap into it. Start channeling that shit. And use it to fuel your alchemical transformation. And you will realize that, like I did, that you're not human. That you're not a god. That you're more than that. That you're something preternatural. I leave that shit up to you.